Eyes up for peace. Oh yes, and we trying to do things. And again,
Okay,
speaking on
so
the
we
violence
live.
that our community
Let me see
is
how this
going through,
goes.
everybody
It's
can
gonna
do
go good.
like
I know.
one thing or one person that makes a difference. That's going to solve this because we have to attack it from every aspect of it. Like I say, legislation. What you guys are doing over at Partner at Jobs, giving the youth something to do besides standing on the corner picking up guns. You put $15 in their hour, teaching them responsibility, right? So they can start saving. So there's a lot of things they take these parents to get involved. Get your kids involved, sign them up, get them out to doing things, right? So we're asking people to take advantage of the summer program that's got coming up. Take advantage of all the opportunities that presents itself to you. Get out to do something today your future self will thank you for. And that's what's really happening for y'all next Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
WTMP HD, Egypt Lake, Tampa, and now on 102.1 in Pinellas County. The views, opinions, and conclusions on this radio broadcast are solely the views of this particular program and its host. The views and opinions expressed on this broadcast does not reflect or represent the views of WTMP, its officers, staff, or advisors. Listen to the Call for Help show with attorney Paul Rebein every Saturday morning at M right here on WTMP. And if you need a personal injury attorney, call the Rebein Brothers PA at 813-305-7285. 813-305-7285.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to the Call for Help show. No, we are not Paul Rebein. Paul is celebrating a birthday with, I think
His granddaughter.
with his granddaughter today. So,
Yes.
he stiffed us today to go in and have family times, which I don't blame him because it's all about family.
Yes.
My name is Robin Lockett. I'm a co-host of Paul Rebein, the Call for Help show. And I have with me Pastor Fruster. I always want to call you doctor.
Well, I did receive my doctorate in theology. Long time getting it, but I got there.
Okay,
But it's all
okay.
good. Brenda
It's
is
all
good.
good. Okay. So, Pastor Fuster, how are you doing today?
I'm well, Robin. I'm you.
I am doing well. We were up at the Black Business Bus Tour today. Florida Rising has a table there spreading a wealth of information, and we also have voter registration that's there
That's
also.
good.
So, like it's going to be a pretty decent, a good event. To be honest, looks like it's going to be a good event. So, if you're not doing anything and you want to support Black businesses, come out to the Black Business Tours at the Gary Adult Center off of 40th. I'm not sure of the address, but it's off of 40th. You'll see the balloons and so forth. Come out and support the endeavor, support Black businesses. They have a lot of vendors out there also.
Amen.
So this is a call-in show, and we have a lot to talk about, but we welcome your thoughts. The call-in number is 1-888-247-8712, 1-888-247-8712. And also, we're streaming live on Facebook, so you can make comments there also. DeSantis, in the organizing world, we call him, I think they call him like DeSatan, right? DeSatan. He is, this is the first time I am nervous about an elective. He's worse than Trump. He's worse than Trump. He is saying that he wants to, before he leaves his being governor, he wants to have a constitutional carry of guns. You can, constitutionally, I guess he's reading the Constitution in his language, and it says something else than what it says in reality. But he says before he's done as governor, he is going to make sure this passes.
Wow.
That's scary.
Well, it's not only scary, but it's a copycat as well. because over there in Texas, Governor Abbott is doing the same, has done and passed the same law. So Texas is so free to carry their guns, and that part I don't understand, because Texas is also the first to put you in execution. I mean, you do a crime, and Texas is the first put you before shooting a team or put you in an electric chair. So I don't understand those rules. I don't agree with them, but I'm also not a gun carrier. I don't do the guns, but for safety of people and protection, the guns are out there, and I do think that there needs to be some kind of law, some kind of restriction, but it can't be a loose cannon.
That's I don't carry a gun either. Hey, but don't try me. I have other techniques. Don't get any ideas. I ain't got to shoot you.
Okay.
But to be honest, just with the way the world is right now, I really have thought about it.
Yes.
I really have thought about it. Even to the point to openly asking, wow, what kind of gun would I have to get? If you're afraid of guns, what do you do? People have told me that, hey, Robin, get a shotgun, because a shotgun you won't miss.
With a scope. A shotgun with a scope.
That means you have to aim.
Yeah, but the scope helps you to get a good aim.
Oh, see, I ain't, it's tough. It's tough in this world, right? With all of the mass shootings, with the kids running around, killing people, with everybody, right? Just freely killing people, and you want to make this a law, put it into law that you can open carry.
Yeah.
I mean that. And what are the restrictions? Are the restrictions the same?
That's true. Yeah.
So if the restrictions are the same, and you can just show that you got a gun, because now you can. I should have brought a person that knows about guns on here, because so what would that change you from concealing your weapon to now you can show it?
And I think to show it is to show that you got power.
Correct.
And stories, real stories that I have read, especially coming up out of Texas, that you don't like a certain person, or a person look at you cross-eyed or whatever, you feel because you can carry that gun by law and with the backup of the governor. If you don't like that person, you can shoot him. In Texas, I'm telling you, Texas has the biggest gun killing there. People driving down a highway and get shot in a car. Wow. You cut in front of someone and you get shot and killed in a car in Texas. So there has to be some laws that are also put in place. And I see where Sharon Newsom is saying, I've decided to get a gun for protection as a single person living alone without family and friends in a new state. My only warning shot is the one that missed.
Okay, Sharon, you ain't so you're gonna give him at least a warning shot. That's it. So you got you do you have the scope?
I know, right? But she says in Alabama the laws are loose as well.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one, right? That's a tough one. Because and I guess that's what I need to ask too. So does this mean that it's less restrictions? They can is it that they can just open carry? Because now they can do it concealed, but is it just that they can open carry? Does it sound worse than what it is?
Well, I think that it is going towards open carry, and because I'm not a I'm not out there with guns. It's kind of hard for me to
Yeah.
make any kind of comments. It's just what you said earlier, Robin, is how the killing is just taking place. It's on a rampant. I mean, it's just horrible. The way that any and everybody has a gun. You have uh, a 12-year-old in a middle school bringing a gun to school and shooting and killing another 12-year-old in school. You look at Chicago. Chicago streets are filled with dead bodies where teenagers and angry people are loose cannons, and they are just killing people. So there has to be that. It cannot be less restrictions. It has to be stricter restrictions so that people will know this is your boundary. This is where
Because
you.
then people have egos, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
they want to know who has the biggest gun, and
Yes.
that creates an ego. Instead of DeSantis talking about the housing crisis and declaring a
Yes.
state of emergency that can help everybody, he's doing these stupid, frivolous things that are going to be challenged. Excuse me, challenged in court. Those are gnats get on my nerve.
I can tell. Trying to kill it.
Look, if I ain't got nothing else with these eyes, I can spot a gnat. I'm just saying, I'm just as not. I'm not as quick as they are, but I can spot them. They get on my nerve. But but so yeah. So instead of him doing things that can really help, right? He's throwing
Yes.
everything. And people, please pay attention to this. When he announced the fight against, I guess Disney, I think that's
Disney.
what it was. He raised $153 million.
Wow.
So let's see how much this statement he's making, this action that he's trying to take. Let's see how long that. D says gnats are everywhere, Robin, like love bugs. Isn't that right? Gnats get on my nerve, and I don't know where they come from.
They're
I even tried
aggravating.
the apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
But I'm like, well, darn, and my apartment is closed up. So I'm like, darn, do they just linger and live forever? I don't get it.
Sometimes they come around fruits. Sometimes you have the little fruit bugs that comes if there's fruits. And for me at my house, there's fruits, and then I have to constantly be aware of the trash because the trash, and so they're just nasty and they just frustrate.
So that means that I'm not keeping a clean place.
No, I said
too long.
Your trash can. No, you clean, girl. You clean. I'm talking me and my trash can.
No, but it's aggravating. But yeah, it's crazy. So the more that he does, he's building his base. And it was said before, people have to be concerned about him because he's worse than Trump.
Wow.
He's worse than. See, Trump did it and, didn't know anything.
Right.
He was a senator, so he understands how government works.
Yes.
Right? He understands how government works. So he would be, just like they said, Pence would be worse because he understood how government works.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
We better wake up, because what's important to people, even Republicans and independents, this housing crisis isn't going away, and it's hurting everybody. There's not a Democrat or a Republican tag to it. It's an issue that it's about. So you better watch. People better watch out and just pay attention.
I agree with you. I think that people really need, as you guys are out here getting people to vote, I think that that should be a continual thing, because we need the votes. And but more than the votes, or as equal as the votes, is knowledge and information, because
Correct.
you can get people to come in and vote, but will they vote for the right candidate. I don't want to say party because I don't want to be a party person. I want to be a person that is looking at the candidate, that is hearing the candidate, that knows what the candidate is all about, and make my decision. Number one, off of that. Number two, and it could be number one as well. What is God saying about this candidate? I just don't want to be voting for somebody because of their color, because of their gender. What if you get in that office? What will you offer me? What will you offer the community? What will you offer the city, the state? If you're just talking garbage, we've come too far now to keep hearing garbage and putting people in there because they're my neighbor, or they paid me something under the table. So people have to know. And again, I appreciate the fact that, especially you, Robin, I'm in the community, but you're really in the community, bringing these kinds of tools to the people. And I salute you and those that are with you for bringing that kind of information, coming to our church, coming to a venue and inviting the people, come out. You got to hear this. You got to know this. And a lot of people are still, as you said earlier, the rent is not on your the top of your list. And you have people, my husband and I was talking about it the other day, and you have people that are now sleeping in their cars. They don't have a job. They're sleeping under the bridge, never thinking that they would be homeless.
With full-time jobs. I mean,
yes.
with jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's I was teasing with Diane Rep Hart, and let me make sure I get this straight. I said, boy, for years, y'all have always used the slogan, vote like your life depended on it. And now that lives do depend on it, the Democrats haven't taken advantage of the opportunity that they had. Now they're behind the eight ball because a lot of people are not even interested in it.
Yeah.
They don't feel like their vote is going to matter. They
right.
They're going to do what they want to do when there is power in your vote. That's what they want us not to do, is be informed. You should know about your candidate. You shouldn't go based on the party, but you need to know what the people often say. Well, I don't vote on party. I vote down I vote. No. You have to have an idea what your party will do.
Absolutely.
Because the difference between a Republican and a Democrat, the Republican, no matter what happens, they are always going to vote in a block. No matter what happens. If they say that the sky is blue and white and it's orange in there, if that's their talking point, they're going to say that sky is blue and white.
Yeah.
The Democrats are the ones that waver.
Yes.
Well, maybe we shouldn't. We don't have the, that type of nonsense, but they stay starched in it. So what do? And being an independent doesn't allow you to vote in the primary.
Right.
That's the first election, right?
Right.
That doesn't allow you to vote there. So even if you're independent, you can't vote to choose who goes to the general election.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's true.
You lose that power.
Yes.
You lose that power. So you're choosing from the leftovers that everybody else has chosen. Right?
Exactly.
So but we the worst thing that they want is for us to be informed. Because there's plenty of people that's running, but be informed about who you want to represent you, who's speaking to your issues,
And this has been decades, my dear sister Robin.
Yeah.
I was talking with my mom the other day. Mom's going to be 87 this year, and Mom took me way back. I mean, she took me so far back, and she was talking about how during that time they did not have the real freedom to vote like we do, and she was saying how they tried to force them to vote for somebody that they didn't even like. That mean they didn't have their support. They only came in the community or only came to the church during the time of election. And she said, but Brenda, and when she said we as the Black community had to fight and stand strong to make sure that we kept our voting rights and we could vote for who we wanted to be placed in the office, not somebody that somebody else want us to put in there, and they're trying to strong arm us. And so that spirit, if you will, Robin, it's still in the earth. It's still in our community. And this is the reason that we have to have people, again, I'm not tooting you, but I'm just saying we have to have strong leaders, strong pastors that will make sure that their their church get information. Because without information, we'll die.
And it is so interesting. First of all, because Blacks have not had the same opportunity, I would look at Black first. Yes. So I am colorblind with that, but I wouldn't support somebody just because they are Black. Just like I wouldn't support anybody because they're white or blue. I would look at, if there's a white candidate and a Black candidate, I'm not ashamed. I'm unapologetically supporting, looking at that Black person first. Yes. Qualifications, who they are. I'm looking for that person first. And if that person meets my checklist, then guess what? I'll support them. Yes. Right? I'll support them because we are the underdog and we need more representation in office. But we've been behind the 8 ball for so long because we've chosen our mama's friends and our dad's uncles and, all of these people, the pastors, we've chosen all these people and they've stayed in office for so long. And, and it's in the rebuilding stages. So we are getting it. We are getting it. Yeah. More people are looking to run and so forth. But we need people that's unapologetically not afraid to say what is needed.
Absolutely. There's a state representative that I strongly admire, and he's from my state, South Carolina, and that's James Clyburn. He as I've watched him down through the years, he's like 80 something now, but as I've watched him down through the years, he has kept his stance. He has made sure that everybody knew what he stood for. He wasn't the Black face up front and another face behind. He's always supported everybody, but definitely he supports his community. He gets information out to the people. And he's just one of the many that I admire, Jesse Jackson, yes, but Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Jesse now is sick, so we continue to pray for him. But just down through the years, you can't duplicate Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King was ordained of God. He was put in the earth by God to do what he did. But after his passing, then you had many people to come up to try to take his place and replicate. You can't replicate. You got to pick up from where he passed that baton and run and keep passing that baton, keep passing it. And so I'm looking to say who's out there right now that is coming up the ranks, that is going to speak for the people, that's going to feed the people the right information, and again, get buses and people out, come out to vote, come into the community libraries, come out and vote. Where is that voice?
Yeah. So Martin Luther King was Martin Luther King, right? Yes. And he had a whole lot of enemies in his camp.
Yes.
When you're put in I look at life as a puzzle. I'm just Robin Lockett I'm a small piece of the puzzle. But if everybody does what they were created to do, their gifts, everybody has a piece of that puzzle.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a piece of that puzzle.
Yes.
You may not do what I do, right? It took me a long time to accept and identify what God anointed me to do.
Yes.
I had a big mouth for a reason.
Yes.
But I also have the heart for a reason.
Yes.
So it took me a long time to accept that. But everybody has a piece of the puzzle.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to do what you do, but don't let the devil feel envy in your heart.
Yes.
To talk negatively about what I do, because it doesn't work. Everybody has a place.
And that's really the downfall. That's really where we spiral out of control. And because as you just said, the enemy puts that there, and the purpose is to distract you and break your focus. If he can distract you and break your focus, and the main reason that you're out there, you're no longer focusing on it, because you're focusing on the hate in your heart, or you're focusing on what someone said, or people talking about you. Hey, get over it, because you already know anytime you come into a public eye, there's going to be various views. People are going to say nice things. People are going to say nasty things. People are going to say hateful things. I was just, again, my home in South Carolina, Bakara Sellers. Bakara Sellers is an attorney there, and he's a voice for the African American group. He's a strong young man, and so Bakara's started getting threats on to his life and to his family life, because he is very outspoken. But did that stop him? No. He has a wife, he has children, and he went to the police. He said, "This is what's happening. I don't know where these threats are coming from, but you must help me find them." The guy that they found that was doing this, he was actually from North Carolina, but he was found in South Carolina. But Bakara Sellers refused to let those threats. He said, if anything, I have to protect my family, and I got to find this guy, but I'm going to still keep my voice out there. And that's the way, that's the stand and the stance, that if you're out there in the political realm, you have to have that kind of take.
That is so true, right? That is so true. And with the electives, if they realize that if they build community, they don't have to worry about, they have their people behind them.
Yes.
Right. They have people behind them. If you build your community, but that's Bakara's. I love him. He has a great history. But you're right. Right. So once you identify, because believe it or not, I used to be not shy, but I was timid in regards to speaking in front of people, in front of audiences. I remember when the first time they threw me when I was with the Black Caucus doing our gala. The only thing I would say, because I was so nervous in speaking to the community or to the group, I would say thank you and good night, like Russell Simmons. Thank you and good night. That's it. But I had to gain, like somebody just said, time and development. I had to conquer my fears. Right? Because God did anoint me with my voice. And I had to conquer my fears to not to speak for people, right?
Yes.
But speak for people. I'm not speaking for you, but if what I'm saying fits your mold, then guess what? It's for you. But it's not for me to do the work, it's for you to join me with the work.
Exactly. Exactly, Robin. And I must say, girl, you've come a long ways, because you are one bold chick. You are one. I mean, it would never be seen or known if you didn't say it, because now the way you roar like a bold lion. And of course, it takes time to get there, because if you're intimidated by people, and people are throwing steaks at you that you don't eat, you like, I don't want it. But after a while, you have to like, okay, I got this. Me and Jesus got this way here.
That's my strength.
Yes.
Because I recognize the key to it is I recognized and I have accepted
Yes.
who he made me to be.
Yes.
That's the key to it.
Yes.
Now I remember Betty Reed, a dear friend of mine. She will always tell me that. You have to walk in your light with God. And nobody else can fulfill that mission the way he has anointed you to do it.
Exactly.
So
My time has ran out, Robin.
yeah.
We can go on and on.
Group, hey, everybody, the word for the day is fulfill your mission. If you have something that you are working on and so forth, fulfill your mission.
Yes.
Thank you, and thank you for joining the Call4Help show. We held it down, and good night, everybody. Well, not good night. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Pastor Brenda Fruster, how are you, Pastor?
Hey, I'm good, and you, sir?
The views, opinions, and conclusions on this radio broadcast are solely the views of this particular program and its host.
Where did that
Views
come
and
from?
opinions